Baba is saying that you have to study this sweet knowledge and have yoga with me until the end. Yes. And I liked this word, this expression, sweet knowledge, very sweet, because the knowledge is sweet, and what the knowledge makes us is very sweet. Why would we say that the knowledge is sweet? Because the knowledge makes us very sweet. Sometimes we know that our words should be sweet, but the knowledge doesn't make us a sweet talker only. The knowledge makes us sweet. So the being is sweet, the thinking is sweet, the talking is sweet, and all our karma are also sweet. And what do we mean by, becoming sweet? So, becoming viceless is the foundation to becoming sweet. If there are vices, then sweetness can instantly change into the opposite. Yes? So, have you seen that you go to buy something and then the shopkeeper is very sweet? Yes? And they're very sweetly showing you stuff. And then suddenly they figure out that this person is not buying anything and they are not my customer. And then you can see that sweetness change into the opposite immediately. So, Maya can also make you sweet. But when Maya makes you sweet, that is very temporary. Yes, that is very temporary. And when Baba makes us sweet, that sweetness is permanent. And when we say permanent, it means come what may. So, under any circumstance, in the face of any behavior, anything that is happening or going on, we are always sweet. And that is what Baba makes us. And the knowledge makes us sweet. And it is very important to imbibe the knowledge. And you see that I always feel that even this one point, that I am a soul and my original nature is sweet, can change the way you respond or the way you act. Yes, so it changes the way you act and the way you respond. So, you don't. So, generally, if you see, our actions are based on what? Our actions are based on our understanding of who we are, who the other person is, or what the situation is. Yes? And what does the knowledge teach us? That I am a soul, my religion is peace and purity, the other person is a soul. Even if that person is acting badly, he is just, or he or she is just under the influence of some vice, and every scene in the drama is beneficial. So, when you hold this knowledge, then in the face of anything, what will your behavior, your action be like? So your action is not based on the situation or the person, or it's not based on your stage. It is based on your understanding of yourself. It's based on your understanding of the other person, and it's based on your understanding of the situation. And this sweet knowledge changes our understanding of these three factors. So when you look at yourself as a soul, you know that I have the capacity to be peaceful and loveful and happy in every situation. So you are free from the burden of ego that you are carrying, or you're free from the burden of any other thought that you're carrying. So let's say even when you have spent 8 hours working tirelessly, still when you remember you're a soul, you know that the body is tired, you are light. Yes, you are light, you're peaceful, and this makes you stay in your spiritual power, stay in your power to be light and peaceful and happy, come what may, even when the body is tired. So this one knowledge that I'm not the body, I'm the soul. So the body is tired, but I'm fine. And I need to take care of the body. It's not that I'm fine, so I don't need to, give the body rest. That's okay. But if you have to give the body rest, you can choose the time to give rest to the body. Yes, but if you are tired, then there is an emergency that, you have to just take rest right now. So you understand that the body is tired, I am not tired. Or the body is ill, I am not ill. Or, you are not attached to the person you are dealing with. You understand that that person is a soul, and that soul is under the influence of their sanskar. And, you feel betrayed, you feel hurt, you feel insulted when you see the other person, see them in a body conscious way. So, if you look at the other person as my husband, my wife, my parents, my children, then whatever they say, you start thinking, what have I done to deserve this? I have done so much and still this is what I get. But when you know that I am a soul and this person is also a soul, and every soul is weak right now, and in their weakness they are behaving under the influence of that weakness, and it has got nothing to do with the roles that we are playing, and it has nothing to do with what I have done to make them feel this way. And then you have compassion, you listen to them, you don't try to justify yourself. Have you seen that when somebody is talking to you and maybe that talk takes the form of a complaint? So, they are just telling you, you did this, you did that. And what do you first start doing? You start justifying that I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But are they seeking a justification? No. They are seeking support from you. So even if they are blaming you, they are seeking support from you. And how will you be able to give support if you refrain from, this attitude of body consciousness which makes you justify that you have not done anything wrong, and you just come to that place where you understand that this soul is weak, they are suffering, and that's why they are talking like this. And what do they need? They need compassion. And let me ask you a very simple question. It is very easy that if X person is blaming Y, yes, then, and you are the Z, so you can have compassion for X who is blaming Y, right? So somebody comes and tells you, my husband is not good to me, or my children are not good to me. It's very easy to explain Gyan to them. But let's say somebody comes and tells you, you are not a good person and you have behaved very badly with me. At that time, can you stay in good feelings? Yes, can you have good wishes and good feelings for that person? And you can have that, but you have to be very soul conscious. Because when you're body conscious, you fall into that trap of justifying that I have not done anything wrong to you. But why don't you understand that it's not what you do, it's how they perceive it. And when a soul is weak, they perceive it that way. So a weak soul has this glasses, this chashma that is on, and they can only see the weaknesses, the wrongs in everyone. And Baba always tells us, do not see the defects. Why? Because it's a habit to see the defects. And everybody who is weak has this habit of seeing defects. It doesn't matter whether you did 99 things right. It doesn't matter whether you had very trying circumstances and the other person never bothered about that. But what matters is they are coming from a very weak place and they don't have the capacity to see the good that you did, or the struggles that you had, or the effort that you made. All the capacity that they have is to see the bad. But it's okay, because even when they are coming to you and you are the master bestower. So today in the blessing, Baba says you are the master bestower of fortune. So even when they are blaming you, you don't have to forget who you are. Because when somebody starts seeing you in a certain way and they start talking to you with a certain vision, then that vision starts coloring your vision and your attitude and your thoughts. So they are blaming you for being a perpetrator. So they are telling you, I am the victim and you are the wrongdoer. And that's okay. So they are saying you are the wrongdoer. But why do you start positioning yourself as the wrongdoer as soon as they say that? So why do you forget who you are? So if somebody says you are the one who did wrong, why do you forget that that's a soul under the influence of sanskars, and I am not the wrongdoer, I am the master bestower. I am not what a person tells me I am what Baba tells me I am. And when I am the master bestower, helping this soul come out of those feelings is my duty, my responsibility. And can you make someone come out of some feelings by explaining to them? No. You cannot make someone come out of certain feelings by explaining to them, because they are not there because of lack of explanation. They are in those feelings because of lack of power, because of lack of purity, because of lack of knowledge and peace and love. So what do you have to give them? You have to give them knowledge and love and peace from a spiritual place. Yes, and when you keep giving them that, then their consciousness shifts, and then they are able to see what they can't see now. And if you just tell them, are you blind? Can't you see I am in my troubles and still I am doing this, still I am doing that? Do you think that if you tell them you're blind, their third eye will open and they'll start seeing it? No, you call somebody blind, their eye closes even more. So you have to, you have to be in your position. You have to emerge those feelings that Baba gives us the capacity to emerge. You have the capacity to be loveful and peaceful and pure and helpful. And when you do that, then you will be able to shift their consciousness. And when they are in a better place, they will be able to see what they can't see right now, because consciousness is responsible for vision and attitude. So you cannot make someone see what they are not seeing right now by explaining to them. You can only make them see what they are not seeing right now by helping them shift their consciousness. But if you have started seeing what they are showing you, then how can you help them shift their consciousness? So, I have been in these situations where somebody is running on empty and they start blaming you for it. And you understand that, they are coming from a place where they are empty and they were looking for a support, and you did not meet their expectations, but that's okay. And every weak soul, no support is enough for a weak soul. So they will keep complaining, keep cribbing. But what you have to do is first be unaffected. And for all of this, what do we need? We need to always remember that I am Baba's child, I am a soul. So, your responses change, your actions change, and the third thing that Baba has told us, drama. So, when you start associating a lot of meaning to every scene in the drama, so, this is disaster, this is tragedy, this is chaos as chaos could be. So, these are the ways we describe scenes in the drama. And somebody would say, it was so bad you can't imagine, it was the worst possible. And if you start labeling any scene like that, then do you understand how much power you are giving to that scene over yourself? Yes, so, when you say it's a big thing, it becomes big. Yes, when you say it's a big thing, it becomes big, because when you say it's a big thing, it has amplified in your mind like anything. So, now the thing is not small, and when you understand that, this is just a prefix drama and every scene is what it is, and it's just a scene, it will pass. So, it is just a scene, it will pass. Just like the many other scenes that have come and gone, it's just a scene. And what you have to do is do your best by being in soul consciousness. So don't worry about what is not in your control. So, Baba is there to worry about what is not in your control. Just take care of the things that are in your control. And when you apply this knowledge of drama, that it is neither good nor bad, it is neither big nor small, it is neither right nor wrong, it is just a scene in drama. And like every other scene, this will also pass. And what I have to do is, in this scene, there is something that I have to do, and I do my best. So, in every scene that comes up and looks like a challenge, there is one part of it which you have to do something about, and there is another part of it which is out of control, you can't do anything about it. So, there is somebody doing something, can you do something about it? No, people have the resources, people have the power, they do several things. You cannot do anything about it, so don't do anything about it. And the best you can do is not think about it. Don't think about what they are doing. Don't think about what it's happening. Just think about what I can do in this situation. Yes, what I can do in this situation. So just manage what is in your, in your court. So, there is something in that scene which is in your power, which is in your control. Just do that much, just pay attention to that, and don't spend any thought thinking about things that are not in your control, because it's just a scene and it will come and go like any other scene. But in the face of that scene, something has to be done. You have to respond to it, and you respond to it appropriately, and just leave the worry to Baba. So Baba says, if you have this dharana of knowledge of who I am, knowledge of who the other soul is, and in the knowledge of who I am, you cannot have the knowledge of who I am until you have the knowledge of who I belong to. Because Baba is your reference point to knowing what is your quality as a soul. Yes, so just like, when a child is born, how does he receive his introduction and identity of who he is? From physical parents, correct? So if a child is born, and the body has to be labeled, whether that's a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or what caste, what nationality, what creed, or what are the practices you have, or what are you capable of, what are you not capable of. All of those identities, where do they come from? They come from the parent. Yes, so if the parent is a businessman, so the child has always received the message that I'm a businessman. And I remember there was this brother who had come, and he was 15 years old. And I asked him, what do you do? He said, I'm into business with my father. So I said, oh, you're 15 and you're a businessman. So he said, I'm a baniya, so I can be a businessman at any age. So you see that ever since he's born, what is the message he's receiving? He's receiving the message that you are a baniya's child, you are a baniya, you're a born businessman. So he has that capacity. So all of the capacities that we see in ourselves is the result of physical identification with physical parents. Yes, and then the teachers and the gurus that have influenced. So it's an accumulation of that. And now that Baba has come, and Baba says, I am your parent, teacher and guru. So I am your parent, I am your teacher, and I am your Satguru. This is what Baba tells us in the Murli today also. And when Baba says, I am your parent, I am your supreme teacher, I am your Satguru, then that's the place where your consciousness, your sense of self about who you are starts to shift. Yes, so if I am not Baba's child, then I don't know how to be a soul. So, Baba is the reference point to tell me how a soul behaves, because a soul is the child of God, and you have to know Baba to know how do you behave, how do you think, how do you speak as a soul. So, a soul knows how to be, to think, to speak, to act. But what is the reference point? The reference point is Baba. So when you know that I'm a soul, when you know that I'm Baba's child, then you know what is your thought, what is your feeling, what is your vibration, what is your act, that which suits you in the moment. So, when you know yourself as Baba's child, when you know yourself as the student that God Himself is teaching, and you know yourself as the one who is under the sustenance of the Satguru himself, then you know how to behave as a soul. Because you know how to behave as a banya, you know how to behave as a woman, you know how to behave as a man, you know how to behave as an old person, you know how to behave as a youth, but you don't know how to behave as a soul, do you? because the reference point for the soul is the soul's father, Baba. And until and unless we understand Baba, we cannot understand soul consciousness. That is why in Sangam Yoga, Supreme Soul Consciousness is the gateway to soul consciousness. If there is no, that's why Baba says, remember me. Because when you remember him, you know who you are as his child. So, it's very important to know Baba and position yourself as a soul that is Baba's child. Because who is the soul? The soul is defined by its relationship with Baba. So I am a soul because I am Baba's child. Yes, I am a soul because I am defined by Baba's qualities. So like father, like son, right? So the father shows the son first. Baba tells us the father shows the son first. So the son has to learn from the father, who am I? Yes, the father shows the son means the father gives the identity to the son first. The father teaches the son how to be and do. And I am the son, and Christ said, I am the Son of God. So Baba says, not just Christ, we are all sons of God. And what is a son of God like? Like God. So that's the first thing that we need to know. That's why, Baba says the first thing is father shows son. Because if you don't know your father, you don't know who you are. And then the son has to show the father. So, then the son, when, the son reaches glory, the son is, in his full glory, then the son establishes the fact that I am what I am who I am, because my father is very high and mighty. So, when, have you seen people who have made it big in life and you don't know their parents, but they come for an interview and then they tell, my father did this for me and my mother did this for me. And then you suddenly have respect for the parents who you don't know. Yes, because you know the child, and the child has done something which makes you understand that the parent must be very, virtuous for a child to turn out like this. And then you have respect for the parents. Similarly, Baba says, you know me and I tell you who you are, and you become who I tell you are, and then the world knows you, they don't know me, but then when they know you, then I become revealed. So this is why Baba says it is very important to, so soul consciousness and supreme soul consciousness are interconnected in Sangam Yoga. You cannot separate the two. One cannot say, I don't want to know God, I don't believe in God, and I am a soul. No. You don't know you cannot know what a soul is like if you don't know God. Because without the Father, the Son cannot know himself. The Father will tell you who you are. But when you realize who you are, then the Father will get revealed through that. So this is why Baba gives this very interesting, message today in the Murli, teaching today in the Murli that, this is very sweet knowledge. The knowledge of the soul, the knowledge of the soul's Baba, and then the knowledge of every other soul around you as a soul. So, they are not who you see or you think who they are, but they are Baba's children and they are souls. and their weak souls, and how do you deal with them, and the knowledge of the drama, that the drama doesn't mean anything. Any scene of the drama doesn't mean anything. It just comes to you, you respond to it, and it's all happening for your good. So, it's all happening for your good. So, have faith in the drama. And when you imbibe this sweet knowledge, you become very sweet. And when other people ask you, how are you very sweet? Then you can introduce them to sweet Baba, to the sweet teacher, and to the sweet Satguru. So, because how you are the one who people will see. They don't know Baba. Baba is Nirakar. They can't see Baba. And not everybody is fortunate enough, that they know Baba like you knew Baba. But when they see you, they will have faith in sweet Baba, in the sweet teacher and his teachings, and in the sweet Satguru. And then they can also take their inheritance from such a sweet father. And this is why Baba says today that, you have to do son shows father and student shows teacher, and, the follower shows Satguru. So you have to reveal the parent, teacher and Satguru. And about these three relationships, I will tell you my experience. So when I came to Baba, for very long, I used to listen to the Murli that Baba is my Baba, my teacher, my Satguru. But I really didn't know what is the significance of this. And it's much, much later that I started thinking about, so when I started really churning on knowledge, so that starts happening a little later. So when I started churning on knowledge, it always used to come up as a question, why does always Baba say, I'm your father, I'm your teacher, I'm your Satguru? Okay, I know he is 3 in 1, but so what? Yes, so, but then, I slowly, gradually, I understood the significance of this. And what is the significance of this? So you see that a father gives sustenance, and a father creates the environment and the facilities and everything for you, and he gives you the sustenance. So if you have a rich father, he will give you a rich environment. Yes, but if you have the Father as your Almighty, so if you have the Almighty as your Father, so Baba is Sarva Shaktivan and he is my Father. So everything that he gives is filled with power. So you wake up to a polite father, what do you receive? You receive sweet words. But who do we wake up to? We wake up to the Almighty Father. So when you get up, who do you get up to? Who do you wake up to? You wake up to the Almighty Father. The first thing you do is remember Baba, and Baba is the Almighty. And your Father is there for you at every moment. And he is giving you, the first thing in the morning is filling you with all the strength that you need for this lifetime. So, early in the morning itself, he is giving you this sustenance of peace and purity and knowledge and love and, power, which is huge. My Father is the ocean of love, and I receive not love, I receive the ocean of love early in the morning. First thing, I wake up to the ocean of love. So, do you understand that being this Father's child means that you can never be empty. Just like if a father has money, his physical father, the child never runs out of money. right? But other things the father doesn't have, so the child runs out of all those things. But here my father has everything, so I cannot run out of peace or knowledge or love or purity or anything, because that's my father's property. And do you understand that in the world, when people remember their father, Lokik father, they feel afraid. So, you know, a father, when you remember your Lokik father, I don't know, majority people, they have this sense of feeling scared. So, you know, whenever the mother wants to scare the child, she would say, I'll tell this to your father. And, or, you know, your father is just coming, mind you, what is going to happen to you. So every time you remember your father, it invokes a sense of, you know, maybe getting scared or feeling fearful. But here, every time you remember your father is giving you love and peace and sustenance and guidance and direction and holding your hand with love. And you know, even when you fall, he is not judging you for falling. He is pulling you up. So if you know the Father, if you have this relationship with Baba, knowing who he is, then can you understand the sustenance he is giving you? So every time you fall, he is just picking you up. Every time you are taking a wrong step, he is guiding you. Every time you are taking a big step, he is filling you with the strength. Every time you are making an ordinary step, he is making it special. So that's the palna, that's the sustenance of the Supreme Father. And we are children of that Supreme Father. So when, you know, have you seen that in this world, when somebody is spoiled, then somebody sees them and they say, you know, this child is born to big parents, you know, bade baap ka bacha. So that's why this is a spoiled child. You know, somebody rich has raised this child. Similarly, when somebody sees you, they should know that the Almighty, the ocean of love, the ocean of peace raised you. And that will show in your personality. And just think about whether my personality reflects that I have been raised by the ocean of knowledge and peace and love and purity. And if my personality reflects that, then you will show the Father. And similarly, think about, you know, churn over what it means to be the student of the Supreme Teacher and the follower of the Supreme Satguru, and how it would reflect in your personality, and whether it is reflecting in your personality, and whether you are living up to Baba's directions of, you know, son shows father and student shows teacher, because the teacher and the father and the Satguru are giving us everything we need. But are we taking it and becoming such that we reveal the Father, Teacher and Satguru? Okay, Om Shanti.